All right, so I've made a couple of videos about this 302. This 302 has a narrow setup. So it's set up to be narrow so it stays inside the frame rails of a 1940 Ford, which is that right there. And if you want to see, the narrow front end of a 40 Ford comes down to a point. So it's designed for that. Glad it is. The problem that I'm having is whenever this is in the correct spot, it blocks the port. And you basically have to come up and the hose will hit right up against here. And then you have to cut around and do all kinds of stuff that you don't need to do. I can't do a 90 degree and I'm having to relocate this because I can't get the clearance on the hose. So I'm having to relocate this because the engineers did not give clearance for the 90 degree inlet because it hits the water pump. Whenever I put it on first and then I put the water pump on, the water pump hits the 90. I don't know why, don't care why. All I know is I'm stuck with this inlet and there's nothing I can do. Chevy puts it right here, basically where the distributor on this one's sitting. Luckily I've changed it to a HEI, get rid of all the Ford crap also. Another engineering design change. But either way, this setup is stupid because they could have changed this. I don't know why they've got a bypass on it. Chevy didn't need a bypass. Why Ford does, I don't know. They also bring up this spout and point it right at the alternator. So now you got a hose that's right up against metal and it's going to wear over time. I mean, the hose is moving. So, I mean, you can see it's directly pointed at the alternator. Not a very smart design overall. That's what I was pointing out. The engineers should have to work on this crap if they're going to do the work. If they're going to do what they're supposed to be doing, they need to work on this instead of just throwing it at a mechanic and saying, here, you have to re-engineer it to make it work. This is Ford factory bracket, Ford factory bracket, Ford factory water pump, Ford factory inlet, but they all don't go together because the engineering is not set up right. I have no problem fixing it. That's my bitch, is Ford is fucking back asswards. Sorry, I hate to tell y'all that, but they are.